Do you have an agenda?
We don't do agendas on the sheet. What's that? The agendas? Oh, they're right here. I have plenty of them. Oh, there. Look at all. No, it's help myself. We have changed that.
You're getting a lot.
It's all right. They're the share, they're recycling them. I'm trying to. Charlotte, are you here? I'm trying to press on the button to see, I see there are three. There we go, finally, okay. Hi, Charlotte. All right, it's 6 o'clock and we're gonna get started with our meeting. We're gonna start with warrants. We have quite a few since we didn't meet last week. I'd like to move that we approve payroll number 92 for $1,964.52. Do I have a second? Second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right. I'd like to move that we accept accounts payable number 93 for $2,868.82. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. I'd like to move that we accept payroll number 94 for $1,964.52. Do I have a second? Second. All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Aye. You could be quicker, Kim.
I'll give you the next one.
All right. I'd like to move that we accept accounts payable number 95 for $8,610.99. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And lastly, we have, I'd like to move that we accept payroll number 96 for $11,410.92. And that is really the payroll from the West Rhode Island Volunteer Fire Department. That's why we have that extra one. Do I have a second? All
Second.
in favor?
Aye.
I feel like we have an echo here. All right, I'd like to move that we accept the minutes from April 25th, 2025. So I have a second. Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, let me,
Which is good. Keep your pen, please, thank you. Don't shoot out your pen.
yes, okay, and moving on. Any citizens? Yes, sir.
Minor one, but the Right Lighting House heat pump. So we have 3 heat pumps in the house. I understand that you may possibly, the town may be putting heat pumps into other the properties. We like to have when you do get a contractor to have them looked at. They were installed 5 years ago by a company that doesn't do this anymore. So we don't really have a regular service
Do you
provider.
know the brand off the top of your head?
It's Mitsubishi.
It is, okay.
Yeah. So and again, it wasn't put in by Mitsubishi installer, so it's all got the warranty. You just want to have someone look at it and make sure that we're configured properly.
Here should be looked at, just like a tune-up.
Well, it's probably fine. I mean, cleaning the filters and all, it's really more making sure the settings are proper. We did have a problem when it was actually initially installed and hadn't had them come back and redo it. We'd just like to have looked at by somebody. And then down the road, it'll be the same person maintaining the rest of the town.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
sure.
we'll pay for it.
Yeah, I think Dennis had mentioned that to me already, so, yeah,
Good, good.
yeah, it's on my radar.
Dennis is, I'm sure, too. All right. Did you have?
Well, I'm here, you know, if you send out the notice,
Yes, we did.
do we have proof that he received it?
I have, verbal proof. I actually ran into him at the store and he said, I heard your letter. So he did get the letter.
Okay,
Yep.
now needless to say, in 2015,
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching, nothing happened, as a matter of fact, more stuff arrived.
I have not walked down there the past.
So I will keep an eye.
Yeah.
My question is, what are you planning to do if it's not done by, no, by June
June 15th.
15th? Is it going to take another 6 months until the code enforcement office goes down? Is it, what's going to happen?
That we need to talk about. We haven't, figured that out yet.
That's what I thought.
The letter was worded. We said that we'd be taking more stringent action.
Yeah, but what? That's my question.
If there's a process with the state you can follow with liens and that
Well-
kind of thing.
I think you should think about it now, and when the date is due, do the proper thing. Otherwise, this thing will be like that in 10 years, and I come back to visit. Because, you know, if you really think, he started complaining, the neighbor, with George Richardson, and how many years is that?
Oh, 10 years.
So,
Oh, no, I'm sorry. 2018.
so that's 7 years.
Yeah.
That's a long process to solve a simple thing. I think it's a simple thing. It's not convenient and it's not, you know, I would rather not do it, but I think it should be done. So when will you know? Next meeting, I can come and you will tell me this and this gonna happen, or
I will tell you that that won't happen simply because I know we're working madly on the warrant articles right now. But I just wrote a note that, yes, we will talk about it and start to figure that out. We need to do some research to see what the state typically does. You know, I remember this challenge early on when you were around, Jeff, when it was like trying to figure out how do you, and we've talked about this, how do you set if you're going to punish somebody or say, you know, you're gonna get a fine, how much is that or
well,
and there isn't anything in
I
place.
agree, I'm not for a fine, but I think it would be proper if you said.
So a fine or whatever it
If he
is,
doesn't
yeah.
clean it up,
So we're gonna.
we will, the town will take care.
Mhm.
When the cost will be passed on to the real estate tax, if he doesn't pay that. There's a lien on his house, and it's very simple and it's stated in the. In the state procedures, so I don't know what's so difficult.
I can imagine,
It's difficult, we just haven't discussed it yet.
well, but I can imagine though, if we went in there and took his stuff.
No, but properly done, you know, if you let him know. So then you say, you can give him another month to say if that's what's going to happen. I think it's simple and it shouldn't offend anybody, but like I said, I don't know when you send out the letter. There's more stuff there, there's another unregistered car. But not supposed to be there, there's another tractor who appeared. The tent is still down,
Yeah, I talked to him a couple weeks ago and he had gotten a letter. He brought it up. He mentioned it. And I have not,
that doesn't help if you mention it, I mean.
I know, but it
I
was.
said that his sheriff, he gave you the letter in January, that he will be cleaned up. And he had to go home now to have dinner because he's so busy.
Well, no, you asked whether I knew if he received it or not. The answer is yes, because he did, acknowledge it. So, I will take a walk there and check it out myself. I just, I was doing that for a while there and I will make sure. And if
I
I,
don't also let you know, but.
if you wanna walk there,
What you
myself.
what you want to do, that's more important.
Yeah. Well, I need to see what has changed and if it's gotten worse, if he's got. New cars there that, and new tractors there that weren't there before, then, need to talk to him about that. Because I'd rather just keep talking to him, not just wait till June 15th. So just trying to have conversations with him and.
I understand, but the thing is. All the conversation you had now for the last. Didn't do too much, it did some, but it didn't do too much.
Yeah, he didn't accomplish miracles. And, we'll keep working on it. This is a really sticky issue and,
I couldn't agree more, but, you know, the thing is, there's rules and regulation. Not everybody, you know, I don't do things, I don't dump stuff over to the neighbor, or I don't come and put pallets in your place, you know, it's just, that's not done. I'm asking that things are properly done.
Yeah.
No, like I said, you know, if you look at what's his name, the lobster man. He has a lot of stuff in front, but it's properly arranged, and that doesn't bother me, that's part of the deal. But just dumping stuff on this, and the tent is down for 6 months, don't give it that. That's not proper.
yeah. Like I said, I will take a walk down there and then, have a conversation with Dan, let's see what we can.
Saturday.
Yep, and we always have an open door for you.
I know.
Yeah. All right, any other citizens issues? No, all right, roads?
Roads. The guide railings on Lower West Shore Road have been removed. That's all set, got some cold patch, got some crushed gravel to fill some potholes. And it rains every day,
Mhm.
so Randy's got to go ahead. When when you don't have to pump out the potholes before you put your material in. And grader, same thing, every day it rains. Sets it back, so that's in the works, and just waiting for weather conditions. Other than that, that's about it.
Okay,
This is a resident here, the work done, last week on Bush Road, with the major ruts during mud season, it's significantly better.
Thanks for reminding me, yeah, I did take the power break down. Hit some of the bad spots on Post Office Road, not all, there's some pothole by Jim Dutton's there that would swallow a car. And then the mud around me, it's on grade now. As a temporary fix,
Yeah.
so we can get down there with a grader.
Yeah, that's.
so,
To improve.
It said it was very, it's very nice.
good,
Yeah, like you said, the biggest worst holes are filled in, it's still a little bumpy, but nothing.
What does grading usually start?
Last year, I think it was the second or the third week of May, so we're really,
Right, that's what I'm thinking.
you know, it ain't like we're behind the eight ball, it's just.
Okay.
We're supposed to show up today, we got 4 miles in Edgecombe to do, and then we'll come in here. Because Jack's no longer grading our roads.
Oh, wow.
Really? What happened?
He's just 79 years old.
Oh.
got another 10 years, come on.
Well, I know, that's what I told him.
Oh.
So I figured. Scott may buy this grader, we're gonna lease it for a month, and do both towns. Make decisions from there. So, you know, it is what it is.
Oh.
How long have you been getting
Sucks.
mail?
They don't, he's got all.
Oh, yeah, for quite a while now.
Oh.
I only stopped doing
They, you know, used to be, he used to have 100 employees when they did Maniac. Now he's down to 5. So he's got something that works. And the 2 boys have never done any real amount of grading.
Wow.
They do
Other things.
other things.
Wow.
The grades,
Art form.
there's not a lot of graders out there, it's just so specialized and. You know, it's a brand new Caterpillar, the smallest one they make $450,000. So we just, you know, you use it for a couple weeks a year, so we just.
Yeah, gotcha. Yep, that makes sense.
But Jack's first grading job was done for Herbert Cromwell when he was road commissioner. That was in Wellington.
Yeah.
That's my favorite Jack story, he says. When I was 14 years old, my father come out and says, tomorrow you're going down back and you're gonna practice with the grader. Cause Monday you're going to Westport Island and grade for Herbert Cromwell Senior. Which was my grandfather, which he did. He said, at the end of the day, your grandfather patted me on the back and said, what a fine job you've done. He says, I knew he was lying to me. Like, yeah, down from these roads for a lot of years.
That's a piece of,
All right, move on
oh
to,
my God.
yeah, committee reports. Kim, do you have anything to share with the properties?
Well, as I mentioned with you guys, but I think we should put it as part of the meeting that Chris Malliott's evaluation of the Old Town Hall brought out many, many, many more and new problems that we didn't know existed earlier. And the ones that we thought were gonna be bad were worse than what we thought. So that's a real concern. That building's at the breaking point. So we're gonna put the inventory together, but just our basic first quick inventory, we're looking at pretty close to $100,000 in just repairing damage from water infiltration and rot that is in the structure of the building itself. So more to be said on that in the future, because that's pretty new news, but it's significant. It's depressing. It's so significant, but that's what I got
No,
there.
it
The
is
Right Landing
depressing.
House sounds. Oh yeah, it is
Yeah.
depressing, isn't it?
Yes, yes, to walk around it and to know that just what I could see. Not even thinking about what's behind all the stuff you can't see, but you can see with your bare eye that there is rot all the way around the building.
Yep. So that's what I have on that. It's always like I never have really good news for you guys at these.
No, I think I should just stop asking you. I think it's the best thing.
Sorry.
We haven't heard, and we'll share that, possibly next week when we get an update on, our engineering report from the fire station, but it'll be a while before we have anything in writing anyway, and so, was keep people posted on that as well, because there were, just put it in the minutes, there were two sites that were visited by the engineers, on the 29th, which was Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Okay, and they visited the Wright House, and they visited the fire station, and both of those were required that the structural engineer be there to look at things, because our insurance company said that they needed to be looked at very carefully, especially the fire station. We just had a meeting at 5 with the friends. What's it?
Workshop.
Workshop, excuse me, a workshop where we discussed with the friends, a strategy that they have, that they, are working with us on, and we'll present on the 16th, and we'll actually, we'll have it in the warrant article draft, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. Especially because the 16th is coming up in the next couple of weeks. So that information will be coming on. Probably not much before the 16th. When do you have to have the warrant articles drafted?
Well, they don't have to be finalized until June 3rd, but
June 30th.
we're gonna want some kind of draft to
Right.
present. You know, ideally before the 16th. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So if we could, try within a week, get a draft put together. It's not final. There may be placeholders and stuff,
Yeah.
but at least something for people to look at.
Yeah, so that will be coming up very soon. I think we have like one more meeting, and then we should be about ready then to share that. All right, let's go to select board business.
These are all announcements, by the way.
Yep.
They
And
just
you
got
wanna go take,
plopped in the wrong category.
that's okay.
Not select board business. I don't think you guys have much business.
We have one staff announcement. And that's it.
Just the grant. Oh, yeah.
You probably got the-
Well, that's kind of like your,
So do you want to start with the grant?
yeah.
Yeah, sure. So, we were awarded another grant from the Government Office of, I don't remember what it stands for, GOPIP. Community Resilience, sorry, I got the mask on. Community Resilience Partnership, Community Action Grant, for 24-25. I think I'm not gonna give you exact numbers. I believe they awarded us 69,000 plus. And the money is gonna go towards, heat pumps for the town office. A heating system that's still up in the air for town hall. Prior to that, the other grant that we got, the technical assistance grant, that will be happening soon. Actually, I'm gonna meet with them on the 16th, I believe. Here, and they're gonna come and take a look at the buildings, and they're gonna do an energy audit. So this is all gonna happen. Also, there was 1,200 in that grant to pay for an audit of the Wright House also. An energy audit, and yeah, so that there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of positive. Yeah,
That's great. Thank you for writing that.
Dennis Dunbar was he's my partner in that, my partner in crime.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's exciting. That'll save us some money.
Well, the problem, this building is sort of a. Going forward, our dream is to have solar panels so that we can save, this building is basically running on electricity. We eventually want to get a on-demand water heater so we can eliminate the boiler altogether in there. And then the building will be, with solar panels. It's kind of a perfect package. The town hall is a little more complicated. We did get approval for 4 units for the town hall. I don't think it's gonna work. My concern is obviously now with all the work that's gonna be done. We did get another grant from Efficiency Maine. We got 2,800, it came off the grant amount, so they, took that off of what they would have given us. But 2,800 was for this building, and we got 11,200 for the units at the town hall. But with everything that's going on, the siding and everything on that building, so we have to sort of investigate that a little bit further.
Yeah.
But,
How long's the grant last? Does it have?
the efficiency, the community action grant is 2 years. We took the 2-year option on that. The Efficiency Maine, we have to have the work done by November 30th. So I still have to do some negotiating with Efficiency Maine and see what we can do with that, because this building is sort of a no-brainer. It's kind of, there's nothing complicated about it, what he wants to do, but the town hall is just, the town hall. So anyway,
Yeah, we were there Saturday working on the island cleanup, and we were talking about like where would we put the heat pump? Because the windows are there, and there's really not room above the windows. And between the windows there's these some kind of columns, but yeah, that stick out, but they're only about this wide. And then and then if you put them in the front, then you have the front with those ugly heat pump pieces. So we were having that.
so it's
Exactly.
that to be continued.
Yeah. All right, a lot of work on that town hall.
Yeah.
Kim, anything to add to this discussion about the town hall and the energy efficiency?
Yeah, so
Grant or-
one thing that, once I get up into the attic at the town hall, one of the things I'll share, and I don't know if you guys made it into the attic there, but there's no insulation. So
Yeah,
a heat pump system isn't really ideal in a building that has no insulation. So we could potentially focus on the bathroom area and use of heat pumps for that particular part of it, or maybe even closing off the kitchen and doing those 2 ends of the building first. It'll make the building usable at least, and then come into a longer term plan. And then I also think at this point, we're probably gonna have to go out and search for some help with maybe some other bigger grants for the salvation of the old building, go get into the historical groups that want to save old buildings and bring them to Westport and try to get some help, because I don't know that we have the resources in Westport to do it the way it needs to get done.
Yep, agreed.
Sure. Good thoughts, Kim, thanks.
Yeah.
All right, let's move to, actually, admin. Do you want to share some of these things?
Oh, yeah, these are just, announcements, you've already kind of gone over at least a couple of them. We're gonna have a warrant preview and feedback session on May 16th and May 22nd at 6 o'clock at the town hall. So. The RFP 12 budget meeting is May 21st at the Chelsea Elementary School. This is the initial budget meeting, where the budget has to pass to get on the ballot to be a referendum that we vote on in June. Absentee voting for the municipal election starts on May 13th. However, absentee voting for the RSU referendum cannot begin until May 22nd after that meeting. So you are allowed to come in and vote after the 13th, just the municipal ballot, but I'm gonna encourage folks to wait till the 22nd. So you can vote both of them at the same time.
Might as well.
Otherwise, it's gonna get real confusing with the ballot counts being off and me having to mail out separate RSU ballots and all that stuff. So if you really have a schedule thing where you have to vote on the municipal one early, that's fine, but it'll be a lot simpler to wait till the 22nd.
If it's not passed on the 21st, and I just glanced at my email, I haven't been able to. It was only like 1 or 2 people that had commented, but there were some towns that are very upset about the RSU 12 budget. So, and I have another commitment, I can't make that meeting, I'm hoping that you and Kim can, but there we go. That meeting is where you vote on that budget, and I'm just, if it's not approved at that time, I mean, do people not go home until it's approved? And if it's not approved, then what happens on the 22nd?
I think they have to go back to the drawing board and we wouldn't put that ballot out
Right.
for the June 10th election.
Remember, this was an issue
I'm
of
guessing.
several years ago. I remember there was another issue and towns weren't passing it, and there was, it may have passed at the big meeting. But the individual towns, it was not passed, and I know they had to go back to the drawing board, and I don't remember exactly what happened, I just,
I know it has to do both hurdles. It doesn't
Right.
get to this referendum part unless it gets through the budget meeting part.
right, so it has to pass on the 21st. And then every single individual town has it on their ballot.
Yeah, and also on the ballot, I noticed is a second question. So the first one is, do you like the budget? Do you vote in favor of the budget? And the second question is, do you want to have to keep doing this referendum thing every year? Or do you want to just let citizens decide at the budget meeting? So instead of having this 2-tiered system or us like in the budget meeting and then to a referendum, and they try this periodically. And it's been voted down each time, but they're asking, hey, if you wanna just scrap this referendum thing. Instead, we'll just have one big budget meeting, the one we're having this year on the 21st, and everyone come and vote. Like a town meeting, basically, and that will decide whether the budget
Is
passes.
it realistic though?
No,
How many people, if
Just
everybody
that.
showed up?
you just stack the deck, that's all you do, and you get who you want.
There,
Eric, it's risky either way, because if there's activists who don't like the budget, they could turn out their votes.
Right.
And if there's activists who do, they can turn out their votes, but
Right, no.
I don't think it's necessarily even safer for them. It would simplify things for them in the towns, because they would have an election thing, which would be nice, but.
we have so few people that come to the meetings.
Right.
You know, I've come to quite a few of them, this is, like I said, the first year, I didn't know the date before, I already made another.
Meeting on the 21st in Chelsea, who is anybody?
Anyone
Yeah,
put
I'm
out
gonna
a- There you go, and I go to register voters, so if you're not registered yet, but you're a resident, bring your ID and proof of residency, I can. Register you right there so you can vote, it's just like an
Jeff
election.
and I and you, that was about it for the last meeting.
Yeah, it's
There's somebody else I sat with, oh, maybe that was from another town.
Barbara
Barbara
Craig,
That's right.
yeah, Barbara Craig came with me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there were only like 3 or 4 people, and I've been going for quite a few years, and there's never more than, I would say at the most, on a good day, 10 people. So I feel like it's not a good, you know, we need to be there in order to have our voice heard and to know what's going on, but I just know that I saw something on an email that was talking about, wanting to get together to talk about the, issue with the RSU budget. So, and I only saw one response, so I don't know if that means that nobody else is interested or what, but, it just, I think it was Chelsea who went up a huge amount.
Every
Explain that.
Right.
6 figures.
Do it.
How many children are on there right now?
I believe it's 61.
60.
Let's 59 to 61 usually varies.
Yeah, it's gone down over the years, so, yeah. Yeah, and you know, we had the meeting a couple weeks ago and actually we had the best turnout, I think, for any town, so at least they heard his, you know, things are just really hard. And,
And the things that, it's like, the things that happen outside of your control happen, and then you have to deal with the aftermath of that and try to justify it when it's not something that you kind of have any control over.
This goes to prove my point between the county's humongous increase this year, again. In the schools. When we get out of town meeting, we're basically fighting over the crumbs that they leave us.
Yeah,
That's the reality.
right.
And, 6 figures on pretty much every town in the RSU. And they're all facing staggering increases in the county tax, like we are, again. So people are getting close to saying, you know what? This is enough, because,
But that's,
the state says it costs this much to educate a kid. The RSU says it costs this much, and they ain't even close to the same number, so.
I know other towns have had issues with, other schools other than RSU 12, so it seems.
Oh, yeah, no, it's all around, this, the costs are going up,
Yeah.
you cost of everything.
Would you wanna finish with the?
Sure. So, the plant sales on June 7th, and then the election, the WCA plans out. Municipal election is June 10th, town meeting June 21st. So,
Starting at 10 o'clock.
busy month.
And
Months.
by the way, we're starting to collect for the plant sale, so anybody that has any plants, wants to contribute, feel free to do so. Any other thoughts, questions, comments? Kim?
No, I'm all good.
All right, then I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn for the evening. Do I have a second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye. Hey, Donna,
Yep,
Jimmy's gonna swing back by to pick up that computer.
Thank you, ladies.
thank
Bye,
you.
Charlotte.
Kim, I didn't hear you. You're gonna.
Jimmy's
Oh,
on his
okay.
way to pick up the computer.
Okay, the other Jim. Okay, got it.
The other Jim.
Thank you, the other Jim.
Done.